You won't believe what my twin brother confessed when we were finally alone. The moment my parents' car disappeared around the corner, I knew this weekend would change everything, but I had no idea just how much. They're really gone, Ethan whispered behind me, his voice cracking in a way that made my stomach drop. I turned around slowly. My twin brother, my identical twin, was standing in the middle of our living room and he looked terrified, not just nervous, not just uncomfortable, absolutely terrified. Ethan, what's going on? He opened his mouth, closed it, his hands were shaking, and that's when I knew whatever he was about to tell me, nothing would ever be the same again. I need to show you something, he said quietly, something I've been hiding from you for 3 months, and when you see it, he paused, his eyes filling with tears, you might never forgive me. My heart started pounding. What are you talking about, Ethan? You're scaring me. Good, he said, and his voice broke completely. You should be scared because what I did, Alex, I almost destroyed our entire family, and you didn't even know. Emotional hook, what secret could be so terrible that it almost destroyed everything? 3 months earlier. I came home early from school that day. A migraine had hit me during math class, making everything blurry and painful. All I wanted was to collapse in my dark room and sleep it off. But then I heard the crying. It was coming from Ethan's room, not just sad crying, this was the sound of someone breaking apart. Ethan, I knocked softly, no answer, just more sobbing. Ethan, I'm coming in. No, don't. But I was already opening the door. The sight stopped me cold. My brother was on his bed, his laptop open, mascara-stained tears running down his face. Wait, mascara. He slammed the laptop shut so hard the screen cracked. Get out. What's wrong? Why are you? And then I saw it, on his desk. Makeup, women's clothing, and a wig, a beautiful auburn wig. Oh my God, I breathed. It's not what you think, Ethan stood up, his whole body shaking. Just let me explain before you. Are you? The words came out before I could stop them. No, I don't know what I am, Alex. He was crying harder now, his whole face red and blotchy. I've been so confused and scared and I didn't know how to tell you because we're twins, we're supposed to be the same and I'm broken. You're not broken. Yes, I am. He grabbed the wig and threw it across the room. Do you know what it's like to look at your identical twin and know that you're nothing like him? That while you're out there being normal, being what everyone expects, I'm in here trying on makeup and dresses and hating myself for it. I stood there frozen, my mind racing. This was my brother, my twin, the person who shared my face, my DNA, my entire life, and I'd had no idea he was suffering like this. How long? I asked quietly. How long what? How long have you known? He laughed bitterly. That I'm gay since I was 12, that I like feminine things since I was 14, that I'm so messed up I don't even know what gender I am anymore, that's new. Dramatic reveal, but this wasn't even the worst part of the secret. Ethan, listen to me, you're not messed up, you're figuring yourself out and that's. There's more, he cut me off and something in his tone made my blood run cold. Alex, there's so much more and it's worse, it's so much worse. He opened his laptop with trembling hands, turned it toward me. I've been talking to someone online, his name is Marcus, he's 19, lives in the city and, Ethan's voice dropped to a whisper, he wants to meet me this weekend while mom and dad are away. No. Show me the conversations, I demanded, my protective instincts kicking in immediately. Alex. Show me right now. What I read in those messages made me want to throw up. This Marcus person wasn't 19. The way he talked, the things he said, the way he manipulated every conversation, this was a predator. And my baby brother born 4 minutes after me, 4 minutes that made me the big brother, was his target. You're not meeting him, I said firmly. You can't tell me what to do. Watch me, I'm telling mom and dad. The color drained from Ethan's face. Alex, please, if you tell them they'll find out everything, the makeup, the confusion, all of it, I'm not ready. I don't care, this Marcus guy is dangerous. You're just saying that because you can't handle that I'm gay. That has nothing to do with this. Everything has to do with this, Ethan screamed. You're going to out me to mom and dad, ruin my life, all because you can't accept that I'm different from you. I'm trying to save your life. I never asked you to save me. I never asked you to be my big brother. I never asked to be born 4 minutes after you so you could spend our entire lives protecting me like I'm some fragile thing that's going to break. His words hit me like physical blows. You don't mean that. Don't I? Tears were streaming down his face, mixing with the smudged makeup. You know what the worst part of being an identical twin is, Alex? Everyone expects us to be the same, but we're not. And every day I have to watch you be everything I'm supposed to be, the straight son, the masculine son, the normal son, and I'm just the broken copy. Stop calling yourself broken. Then what am I? Tell me, big brother, what am I if not broken? Devastating moment, I made a choice that destroyed us. I picked up my phone. What are you doing? Ethan's voice was pure panic. What I have to do? Alex, no, please, I'm begging you. But I was already dialing. Mom answered on the second ring. Alex, honey, what's wrong? Ethan's face went white, then red, then something worse, completely blank, empty. We need you to come home, I said, never taking my eyes off my brother. It's about Ethan, it's an emergency. When I hung up, Ethan looked at me with an expression I'll never forget. It wasn't anger, it wasn't even hurt. It was betrayal so deep it changed the very structure of his face. I will never forgive you for this, he said quietly, never. Then he walked out of his room, leaving me standing there with his laptop, his secrets, and the smoking ruins of our relationship. He didn't speak to me for 3 months after that. Not a single word. Heartbreaking hook until tonight. Present day, our empty house, just the two of us. So that's what you wanted to tell me, I asked, my voice hollow, how much you hate me for what I did. Ethan shook his head slowly. No, that's not what I need to tell you. He sat down on the couch and I noticed he was holding something in his hand, a small notebook. My stomach knotted. What is that? My journal, he said. I've been writing in it every day since that day in March, and I need you to read something. He opened it to a marked page and began to read aloud. April 15th, day 32 of not speaking to Alex. Mom tried to get us to talk again today. I pretended to be asleep. The truth is I lie awake most nights thinking about what almost happened, about Marcus, about the fact that Alex was right and I was so wrong. But I can't admit that to him because if I do I have to admit something worse, that I almost got hurt, almost got kidnapped, maybe even killed, and it would have been my own stupid fault. His voice cracked, but he kept reading. The police told Mom and Dad that Marcus was actually a 47-year-old man named Robert Finch. He had a record, kids, multiple kids, and I was going to be next. I was going to walk right into his trap because I was lonely and confused and desperate for someone to understand me. But here's the thing, I can't tell anyone. I knew. Deep down, some part of me knew something was wrong. I just didn't want to believe it because then I'd have to face how truly alone I am. Tears were running down my face now. Ethan. I'm not done, he said, his own voice thick with emotion. He turned the page. June 3rd, day 81. Alex tried to talk to me again today. I walked right past him. I saw the hurt in his eyes and I felt good about it, which makes me a terrible person. Because the truth I can't say out loud is that I miss him so much it physically hurts. I miss my twin, my best friend. The only person who's ever really known me, but if I forgive him I have to stop being angry. And being angry is the only thing keeping me from falling apart completely. Emotional revelation, but the next entry changes everything. June 15th, day 93, something happened today that I need to write down before I lose my nerve. I was at the library using their computer to check my email when I got a message from a new account. My blood went cold when I saw the name Marcus 2023. He found me again, or maybe it's a different predator, I don't know, but the message said, I know where you go to school, I know what you look like, I know when your parents work, you can't hide from me. Alex, if you ever read this, I'm scared, I'm so scared. And the worst part, you're the person I want to tell, you're the person I need to tell. But I've spent 3 months building this wall between us, and I don't know how to tear it down. The notebook slipped from his hands. I was across the room in seconds, grabbing his shoulders. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell anyone? Because I was ashamed, he sobbed. Because you were right and I was wrong and I couldn't admit it. Because I'm stubborn and proud and stupid. You're not stupid. I am stupid because I let my pride almost get me hurt twice. And now he knows where I live, Alex. He knows our schedule. He knows Mom and Dad are gone this weekend, and I'm scared that. He couldn't finish the sentence because he was crying too hard. I pulled him into a hug, and for the first time in 3 months he didn't push me away. He clung to me like he was drowning and I was the only lifeline. We're calling the police, I said firmly, right now. I already did, he admitted into my shoulder. They're sending someone over, they should be here in about 20 minutes. Relief flooded through me. Good, that's good. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry for shutting you out, for making you think I hated you, for. Stop, we both made mistakes, but we're fixing them now. Shocking twist, but then we heard it. A sound from outside, the crunch of gravel in our driveway. We both froze. Did you hear that? Ethan whispered, his face going pale. I nodded slowly. Our driveway, someone's in our driveway. The police said 20 minutes, it's only been 5. We stared at each other, the same terrifying thought passing between us without words. What if it wasn't the police? What if Marcus had found him? Intense hook, what happens next will shock you. I moved to the window carefully, staying low, my heart hammering so hard I could feel it in my throat. A dark sedan was parked in our driveway, not a police car. No lights, no markings, just sitting there, engine running. Oh God, Ethan breathed beside me. Oh God, Alex, what if it's him? My mind was racing. We were two 17-year-olds home alone with a potential predator outside. The police were still 15 minutes away. Upstairs, I said quietly, we lock ourselves in your room and call 911 again. But what if? The car door opened. A figure stepped out, medium height, dark clothing, hood up. They stood there for a moment just looking at our house. Then they started walking toward our front door. Gio, I grabbed Ethan's hand and we ran for the stairs. Behind us we heard the doorbell ring, once, twice, 3 times, insistent. We made it to Ethan's room. I slammed the door shut, locked it, and shoved his desk chair under the handle. Ethan was already on his phone, his hands shaking so badly he could barely dial. 911, what's your emergency? There's someone at our house, Ethan said, his voice high and panicked. We're alone and someone's trying to get in and we think it might be a man who's been stalking me online and… Downstairs, we heard something that made my blood freeze. The sound of a key in the lock. They have a key, I whispered. How do they have a key? The front door opened, we heard footsteps in the foyer, slow, deliberate, like they were looking for something. Like they were looking for us. Police are 3 minutes away, the 911 operator said. Stay in the locked room, don't make any noise, don't. Alex ETHAN, a voice called from downstairs, a familiar voice. Wait. Ethan and I looked at each other in shock. Is that Uncle James? Ethan whispered. We ran to the door, threw it open, and practically fell down the stairs. Our uncle was standing in the foyer, looking confused and worried, holding a grocery bag. What on earth is going on? Why did you call 911? I could hear you on the phone from outside. Unexpected twist, relief and embarrassment flood in. Uncle James, I couldn't believe it. What are you doing here? Your mom asked me to check on you boys and drop off some food. She gave me her spare key last week, remember? He looked between our pale faces and the phone Ethan was still clutching. What happened? Why did you think someone was breaking in? Ethan sank down onto the stairs, the adrenaline draining out of him so fast he looked like he might pass out. We thought. It's a long story, I said, just as police sirens became audible in the distance. What followed was 2 hours of explaining everything to the police. Ethan showed them the new threatening message. They traced it, thank God, to a teenager in another state who thought it would be funny to scare someone, not the original predator at all. The kids' parents were being contacted, charges were being filed. Through it all, Uncle James sat with us, making us tea, listening without judgment, being exactly what we needed, a calm adult presence who didn't freak out or make things worse. After the police left, he looked at both of us seriously. Your mom told me what happened 3 months ago, he said quietly, about the original situation, and Ethan about you being gay. Ethan stiffened beside me. She was worried about you both, Uncle James continued. About how you weren't talking. She asked me to check on you this weekend, make sure you were okay. He paused. I'm gay too, you know. My head snapped up. What? Have been my whole life, came out when I was 25, lost some friends, kept others, eventually found my husband, your Uncle David, who you've met 100 times. He smiled sadly. Your mom didn't tell you because I asked her not to, I wanted to wait until you were ready to hear it. Ethan was staring at him like he'd just revealed he was Superman. You're gay and married and happy. Very happy, and Ethan, I want you to know being gay doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're less than, it just means you're gay, that's it, that's the whole thing. But the confusion, Ethan whispered. The feminine clothes, the makeup, Uncle James, what if I'm trans, what if I'm non-binary, what if I don't even know what I am? Powerful moment, the wisdom we both needed to hear. Uncle James moved to sit between us on the couch. Then you don't know yet, and that's okay. You're 17, Ethan. You don't have to have everything figured out. Some people know who they are from the time they're 5 years old. Some people don't figure it out until they're 50. There's no timeline, no deadline, no right or wrong way to discover yourself. But Alex and I are twins, Ethan said, and his voice broke. We're supposed to be the same. No, Uncle James said firmly. You're supposed to be yourselves, both of you. Being twins doesn't mean being identical in every way. It means being two separate, unique people who happen to share a birthday and some DNA. He turned to me, and Alex, I want to say something to you too. What you did 3 months ago, telling your parents about Marcus, that was brave, that was right. You saved your brother's life. But I outed him, I said, guilt washing over me again. I took away his choice. In that specific situation with a predator involved, you made the only choice you could make. Would it have been better if Ethan had been ready to come out on his own terms? Yes, but we don't always get ideal circumstances. Sometimes we have to choose between perfect and safe, and you chose safe. That wasn't wrong. But Ethan was so hurt. Ethan admitted. I was furious and hurt, and I felt violated, but Uncle James is right. You saved my life, Alex, and I've been too angry and too proud to admit it. Emotional breakthrough, the truth finally comes out. I want to tell you both something, Uncle James said. When I was 18, I met someone online too. This was back in the early 2000s before we really understood internet safety. I thought I was talking to another gay teenager. Turns out he was a 30-year-old man who wanted to help me explore my sexuality. Ethan gasped, what happened? I almost went to meet him, had my bag packed, was ready to sneak out. But my older brother, your mom, found my chat logs. She told our parents. I was furious with her, screamed, cried, didn't talk to her for 6 months. Mom never told us this story, I said quietly. Because it was my story to tell. And I'm telling you now because I want you both to understand something. What your sister did for me, what you did for Ethan, Alex, that's love. Real, messy, complicated, sometimes painful love. The kind that makes hard choices because keeping someone safe matters more than keeping them happy. He looked at Ethan, and Ethan, I want you to know I eventually forgave your mom because I realized she wasn't trying to control me or punish me. She was trying to save me from someone who wanted to hurt me just like Alex did for you. Tears were rolling down Ethan's face. I know that now. I think I knew it all along, but I was just so scared and confused, and his voice broke completely. I'm sorry, Alex, I'm so sorry for shutting you out, for making you think I hated you, for wasting 3 months being angry when I should have been grateful. I pulled him into a hug, and this time we both cried. All the pain of the past 3 months, all the words we hadn't said, all the hurt we'd been carrying, it poured out of both of us. I'm sorry too, I said, for not trusting you to make your own decisions about coming out, for taking that choice away from you, for not being a better brother. You're the best brother, Ethan sobbed. You're the best brother, and I almost lost you because I was too stubborn to see it. Uncle James gave us both time to cry it out, sitting there quietly, offering silent support. When we finally pulled apart, he smiled at us. You boys are going to be okay, he said. You know why? Because you love each other, and love always finds a way through even when things get complicated. After Uncle James left with promises to come back for breakfast in the morning, Ethan and I sat in the living room, both exhausted but somehow lighter than we'd been in months. Can I tell you something? Ethan asked quietly. Always. I think I'm just gay, not trans, not non-binary, just gay. The feminine clothes and makeup, I think that was me trying to figure out what being gay meant. Like I thought if I was attracted to men I had to be feminine. But Uncle James isn't feminine and he's gay. And there are plenty of masculine gay men and feminine gay men and everything in between. So you were exploring, I said. Yeah, and I got confused because I liked some of it, the makeup especially, but not all of it. And I thought that meant I was broken or confused about my gender, but maybe it just means I'm a gay guy who likes makeup sometimes. Is that okay? Of course it's okay, you can be whoever you want to be, Ethan. Feminine, masculine, somewhere in between, it doesn't matter to me. He smiled, a real, genuine smile. I like makeup, and I like wearing hoodies and jeans. I like painting my nails sometimes and playing video games. I like watching fashion shows and watching football, and I'm attracted to men, that's who I am. Then that's who you are, I said simply, and I love every part of that person. Heartwarming moment, brothers finding their way back. You know what's funny? Ethan said. All this time I was so worried about being different from you, about not being the right kind of twin, but we're different in lots of ways. You're better at math, I'm better at art. You like horror movies, I like comedies. You're a morning person, I'm a night owl, and those differences never bothered me. So why did this one? Because this one felt like it mattered more, like it was some fundamental way I was failing at being your twin. You could never fail at being my twin, I said firmly. You're my brother, my best friend, and nothing about your sexuality or gender expression or anything else changes that. He leaned his head on my shoulder, something we used to do all the time when we were kids. I missed you so much. I missed you too. We sat like that for a long time, comfortable in the silence. Then Ethan said, I want to come out at school. Yes. Yeah, not to everyone maybe, but to our friends, and I want to stop hiding. I want to be able to talk about cute guys and join the LGBTQ student group and just exist without constantly censoring myself. When do you want to do it? Monday at lunch with our friend group. He looked up at me nervously. Will you be there? Are you kidding? Of course I'll be there. What if they react badly? Then they're not really our friends, but I don't think they will, Ethan, I really don't. He nodded, taking a deep breath. Okay, Monday I can do this. You absolutely can. Inspiring moment, finding courage together. We stayed up late, making plans and talking about everything we'd missed in the past 3 months. He told me about the online LGBTQ support group he'd joined, where he could talk to other kids going through similar things. I told him about the research I'd been doing, trying to understand his experience better. You did research? He asked, surprised. Of course I did, you're my brother, I wanted to understand. What kind of research? Everything, coming out stories, articles about homophobia, resources for families, videos from gay content creators. I watched like 50 hours of YouTube videos from LGBTQ people talking about their experiences. Ethan's eyes filled with tears again. You did all that for me. You're my twin, I'd do anything for you. He hugged me tightly. Thank you, that means more than you know. As it got later, we moved to our traditional weekend activity, making nachos and watching movies. It felt normal in the best possible way, like we were finally finding our rhythm again. Around midnight, as we were both getting sleepy, Ethan said, Hey Alex. Yes. Do you think Mom and Dad would be okay with me bringing a boyfriend home someday, like a real boyfriend, not an online predator? I smiled. I think they'd love to meet whoever makes you happy. Real, non-predator boyfriends strongly encouraged. He laughed. Good, because there's this guy in my art class, Cameron, and he's out and proud and really cute, and I've been thinking about maybe asking him to study together or something. Do it, ask him Monday after you come out to the friend group. You'll be riding high on that courage. Maybe I will. Hopeful hook, a new beginning. Monday morning came too quickly. Ethan was nervous, barely touching his breakfast, checking his phone obsessively. What if I chicken out? He asked as we drove to school. Then you try again another day. No pressure, Ethan, this is your timeline. But I want to do it today, I need to do it today. If I don't do it now, I'll keep putting it off forever. Then you'll do it today, and I'll be right there with you. At school, the morning passed in a blur. I could barely focus in any of my classes, too worried about Ethan and how lunch would go. I saw him in the hallway between third and fourth period, and he looked like he might throw up. Still doing this? I asked quietly. He nodded, his jaw set with determination. Still doing this. Lunch finally arrived. Our friend group, Jason, Marcus, our friend, not the predator, Rachel and Sophie were already at our usual table when we arrived. Hey guys, Rachel called out. Where have you two been? You've been weird all day. Ethan took a deep breath. I put my hand on his shoulder, a silent show of support. Actually, I need to talk to you all about something, Ethan said. The table went quiet, everyone picked up on his serious tone. What's up, man? Jason asked, concerned. Powerful climax, the moment of truth. So, I'm gay, Ethan said, and even though his voice shook, he got the words out. I've known for a while and I wanted to tell you guys because you're my friends and I'm tired of hiding this part of myself. There was a moment of silence that felt like an eternity. Then Jason broke into a huge grin. Finally, dude, I've been waiting for you to tell us. Wait, what? Ethan looked shocked. We kind of suspected, Sophie admitted gently. The way you looked at guys sometimes, the way you changed the subject whenever we talked about girls you might like, but we wanted to wait for you to be ready. Marcus leaned over and bumped Ethan's fist. For the record, we don't care. I mean, we care about you, but we don't care that you're gay. You're still Ethan. You're still our friend. Rachel pulled him into a hug. We love you, you idiot. Thanks for trusting us enough to tell us. I watched as relief washed over my brother's face as years of fear melted away in the warmth of acceptance. Our friends started asking questions, not invasive ones but genuine, caring questions about his experience and how they could support him. And then Sophie said, "So are you interested in anyone? Any guys caught your eye?" Ethan blushed bright red. Actually, maybe there's this guy in my art class. Cameron, Sophie practically shrieked. Oh my god, you like Cameron, he's perfect for you. You think so? Are you kidding? You two would be so cute together. He's gay too, and he's sweet, and he loves art just like you do. You have to talk to him. Yeah. Sweet victory, everything coming together. The rest of lunch was amazing. Our friends rallied around Ethan, offering support and sharing stories about other LGBTQ people they knew. Jason even mentioned that his cousin was gay and offered to introduce Ethan to him sometime. As we walked to our next class together, Ethan grabbed my arm. Thank you, he said quietly. For what? For everything, for saving me from Marcus, for trying to understand, for being there today even when I was terrified, for being my brother. Always, I said, that's what twins do. Even when one of them is gay and likes wearing makeup sometimes. Especially then. He grinned, good, because I'm thinking about doing a full face of makeup for our next twin photo, really freak people out. I laughed, I'm in, we'll blow up Instagram. Epilogue 6 months later. It's been 6 months since that weekend when our parents were away. 6 months since we finally talked, since we healed our relationship, since Ethan came out. A lot has changed. Ethan is dating Cameron now. They're adorable together and Cameron is exactly the kind of guy I hoped Ethan would find, kind, genuine, age-appropriate, and absolutely smitten with my twin. Ethan joined the school's LGBTQ club and has found a whole community of kids like him. He's more confident now, more comfortable in his own skin. He wears makeup sometimes, usually just eyeliner and nail polish, and he rocks it. Our relationship is stronger than it's ever been. We learned that being twins doesn't mean being the same, it means being there for each other as you both become who you're meant to be. Uncle James and Uncle David have become regular fixtures at family dinners, and having queer adult role models in his life has helped Ethan more than I can say. And me, I learned that sometimes protecting someone means stepping back, that trust is more important than control. That love sometimes means making hard choices and living with the consequences. Last week, Ethan and I did that twin photo shoot with makeup. The pictures are ridiculous and perfect, and the Instagram comments were a mix of support, confusion, and a few jerks who we blocked immediately. But my favorite comment came from Ethan. Thanks for being the best twin brother ever. Love you, Alex. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters, not how we're different or the same, not the mistakes we've made or the pain we've caused each other. Just this, we're brothers, we're twins, and no matter what, we've got each other's backs. Final message. If you're struggling with your identity, know that you're not alone. If you're worried about coming out, know that it gets better. If you've made mistakes with someone you love, know that healing is possible. And if you're a twin or a sibling or just someone who loves someone who's different from you, remember that love means accepting people as they are, not as you wish they would be. Our parents being away that weekend gave us the space to heal, but it wasn't the empty house that fixed us. It was choosing to be honest, choosing to be vulnerable, choosing each other. Every single time. The end. This story is dedicated to every person who's ever felt broken for being different, and to every sibling who's learned that love means letting go of who you thought someone should be and embracing who they actually are. You're not alone, you're not broken, you're exactly who you're meant to be. Drop a red if this story touched your heart.